All right. Thank you for joining. Today I wanted to do a technical analysis video on Hedera, HBAR. Now, here's what HBAR is. I'm not here to do a full-blown review on this project. I'm here to talk to you about the chart, right? So, taking a look at HBAR, as you can see, just like many other altcoins, it is basically in its accumulation phase. Now, one thing that this does remind me of is Chainlink. I'm not sure if you know the pattern and accumulation that Chainlink did before it pretty much went parabolic. But as you can see with Chainlink, it was range bound for quite a while, basically since May 2022 up until October 2023, right? Then he broke out, impulsed, and moved about 100% higher from the top of this range, right? Now, if you're in from the lows, you're talking 230%, which is amazing, amazing, amazing returns, right? So HBAR is performing a little bit similar to Chainlink, right? You can see sold off, accumulation, accumulation, accumulation. Now, when will this project break out? I'm not exactly sure, but keeping that in mind, it's good to know that it seems like as long as you do purchase within this range, the upside is looking very promising. Now, if it does go to this monthly resistance and weekly resistance that we have above, from where we are now, it's about a 214% gain, right? 200%, let's just say, which is pretty close to what Chainlink did. Now, this is a very strong project. I do like what I'm hearing about them. But at the end of the day, let's go ahead and dive into where do we think prices will go. And as you can see, and as you can see so far, I suspect higher prices, right? So if we dive in, let me go ahead and get rid of this. You can see HBAR had a nice impulse higher. It looks like it came down to about the 382 or even the golden pocket. All right, tap the golden pocket right there, impulsed higher, and it's now reclaiming this point of control, as you can see, and also reclaiming the 0.5 Fibonacci level, right? So this is bullish market structure, right? So before we had lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. This is the first higher low. Now we have a higher high, and now we're looking for another higher low to come into play, right? So you can go ahead and pull your fibs, see where they line up. I believe the 382 will line up right with that point of control. Yep, pretty much exact, right? So I would assume that price will come back down to these levels, retest the point of control before moving and targeting higher prices, right? So once again, come down, tap the point of control, and then continue to move and target the value area high first, which would be at around 15% away. If we hold for the top of the range, you're looking at about a 30% gain, right? Now, could we have seen this move coming? I believe so, because as I've preached before, trend lines are very powerful. They don't have to be perfect, but it is good to place them to determine the trend of the market, right? So in reality, yes, you would just pull from the tops of your previous pivot highs, but at the same time too, you can make a general trend line. So this way you can see, okay, if price does break out of this trend and sustains a price above this trend, this descending trend line, then we can say, okay, now a bullish market structure change is more likely on the horizon, and that's exactly what happened, right? So we had multiple rejections, rejection, even got rejected here. This would have been a great time to long. I believe I did mention something about this on my X account. And then you would have been, if you were to long the breakout, let's just say you waited for the retest. Right now, you'd be up 6%, but at the highs, that was a 10% move, right? Let's go ahead to my X account and see if I did mention something about that. I'm pretty sure I did, so let's see. Solana, Quant, HBAR. Right. So, as I said, right? HBAR is showing signs of strength along the rest of the altcoins. Which project did you scoop before the bullish move? Hedera. Who else took this trade and is now up over 7%? I am actually still currently in this trade. I longed around here, right on that breakout, right? And I am currently still in this trade. And as you can see, you know, I did make this call. This is, I'm not BSing, this is on my account. So yeah, that is playing out quite well. So I am up, I think, around the same, because price did come down a little bit. So I believe I entered somewhere around there. It's about 5% up. I did take a little bit of profits, I believe somewhere up here, because of this, right? I saw this reaction. I said, you know what, let me go ahead and take some profits in case price does sell off, which it did, and it did not stop me out. I moved my stop to entry. And then, yeah, we got another impulse higher. Now we're just waiting for another move. But once HBAR really starts to find support around this level, this would be another great area to long, in my opinion. Expecting this resistance to flip to support, price to come up, target these highs, right? Most likely get rejected, find support again, flip this resistance back into support before targeting the higher prices for that 31% gain. Okay, now if you were to enter this long right here, you know, where would I feel comfortable placing a stop? Well, let's go ahead and put this out here, use this tool. So right away, that's around 6% away. That's pretty, let's see, if you were to get in from here, 5%, not the worst, but you have to make sure you're managing your position size, right? If you manage your position size, and at the end of the day, you can still manage a 1 to 2% risk. And yeah, you really want your stop to be below there. If you really have a pretty massive portfolio and you can adjust your portfolio size to take a 10% stop loss, then that's wonderful. That means you're just trading with 1/10 of your portfolio. So if you do get stopped out this low, you're still only losing 1% of your portfolio, right? So that's pretty much the trick there. So if it's, you know, 18% anyway, you use 1/18 of your portfolio size, right? So if it's 2% away, you use half of your portfolio. So that's pretty much just how that goes. But yeah, right here would be a great area to enter a long position. Right on this point of control, watch for the reaction. Make sure that we are getting a nice reaction. You see some volume coming in, similarly to like what happened here, increasing volume, right? Increasing volume, and then the volume slowed down. So this is a good way of indicating. So this is an increase in volume from here. Increase. The volume drops off. And then now we're expecting a little bit lower prices. Just a little bit. I say at 0.75 is where we'll get that reaction. If we do go in a little bit more locally, let's see if we can see anything else. Possibly. So this did line up quite well with the point of control. So let's go ahead and bring that back up here. All right, so we can go ahead, take off the 0.5, and then we could also pull another fib from this pivot low to the highs. And it looks like the 0.5 is what lines up with this one. Pretty close, right? Pretty close. So this is an interesting area for support. I think that's where price will target. If it does bounce off here, well then that's actually a good sign, right? Because the shallower the retracement is before impulse, the stronger the upside potential, right? So you could ladder into your longs, maybe enter a long position here. If price comes down, enter more of your position in here, right? Maybe like quarter of your position, half, and then this can be the last. And if this basically fails out, like I said, you have your stop losses set to either here or below this low, so that this way you minimize your risk. But long story short, Hedera, it is looking quite promising. You know, after trendline breakouts, we'd usually get a very nice rally. We've seen it multiple times in the past, and yeah, this is just another example of what's happening, right? That's just playing out. So watch for that retracement back to the 0.75 area. That's where I'd, well, 0.746 area. That's where I'd be looking for a proper long, and targeting higher prices from that level about 30% away, but the first target is about 15% away. So you can set this as your TP1 and your TP2. All right, thank you for joining. Like, subscribe, and follow me on X. Comment down below anything you'd like to see me chart. Once again, I don't have too many followers, so if you leave a comment, I will most likely see it and read it, and then I'll chart it. Okay? Thank you for watching, and have a great day.